Coming up on Lexington Now, the Carnegie Center is gearing up for fall. There are plenty of activities for you to enjoy in downtown Lexington. We'll tell you about some of them and bike safety. This and more up next on this week's edition of Lexington Now. And welcome to this edition of Lexington Now, where we give you a detailed look at what's going on inside your urban county government. The Carnegie Center is the go-to place for lovers of literature of all ages. And now the center is kicking off its fall schedule of classes. Neil Chethik with the Carnegie Center has more information about how you can get involved.
The city did not have a public library back in the late 1800s, and so we were one of hundreds of American cities that applied to the Carnegie Endowment, and the steel magnate Andrew Carnegie gave $65,000 to the city of Lexington to build the Carnegie Center in 1903. And it was built over the next 2 years, and the thing that was most important is that it would be free to the public. The Carnegie Center is today a learning center and community center. Every one of us cannot reach our full potential unless we can read, learn, unless we can write. You can't be a mathematician if you can't read. You can't be an engineer if you can't read. So reading is the fundamental learning that has to be done, and we take that as our challenge in the Lexington community. We have 80 classes that will be available from September 1st through the end of December. And those classes range from a writing class for a 5-year-old who's just learning how to write. We have classes for adults that are in storytelling, fiction, nonfiction, poetry. So we really try also to help people who may have written 20 or 25 years ago and haven't been writing since then, but who want to come back and make another stab at it. We also have a lot of celebrations, literary celebrations. For example, this fall we have one that's called Carnegie Classics. You may be seeing this around. We're taking the book 1984 and making it possible for you to come to us and walk into the building. It will seem like you're walking onto the set of 1984 or into the novel of 1984. And we try to make the arts be something that is exciting and worthy of a night of celebration. I want to strongly encourage people in the community who have time to consider donating their time to the Carnegie Center. But we bring in about 200 adults to work one-on-one with children, and you get to work with the same child every week for the whole school year. The idea is that you create a deep relationship with that child, they with you, and that mixed with the fact that you're tutoring them and mentoring them helps them associate education in a positive way. Later in the fall, we will be announcing the new inductees into the Kentucky Writers Hall of Fame. We always have an induction ceremony in January, but over the fall, we take in nominations. We want to hear from people about who they think are the greatest writers, both present living writers and past writers who have died. We have language classes, so if you're interested in learning Spanish or French, we have several levels of each of those. We also do a series called Just Enough of a language. We've had Just Enough Italian, Just Enough Russian, Just Enough Chinese. This fall, we're having one called Just Enough Portuguese. The success stories that I'm most proud of are the ones that I hear of kids who have come here for tutoring when they're 4, 5, 6, 7th grade, maybe stayed for 2 or 3 years, or maybe even were tutored all the way through high school. A student who may have gone to one of our mentors to help them decide which college and which tests to take and how to prepare for those, and is now in college or beyond. I would strongly encourage you, invite you to come by. The building's beautiful, it's historic, and we've done a lot of renovation work, so it's a wonderful place to actually tutor people. Also, we can show you around, introduce you to the people, show you where you can park, and it can be a really wonderful place to take classes, to tutor kids, or just to have as an event, as a space for an event that you might want to do. So come on by. We're at 251 West 2nd Street, just north of downtown Lexington, or you can call us at 859-254-4175, or you can go online, www.carnegiecenterlex.org, Lex.org.
It doesn't matter what day of the week it is, downtown Lexington is always the place to be. Here's some information from the Downtown Lexington Corporation about what's going on.
Looking for something to do this week? Downtown Lexington has it all. Visit downtownlex.com or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
This Tuesday at 7 p.m., Hopcat is having a Monic Beer blind beer dinner and reservations are required. For more information, visit the Lexington Hopcat Facebook page. On Wednesdays from 5:30 until 8, Wines on Vine has a weekly wine tasting, and this week it's from Vanguard. For more information, visit winesonvine.net. And on Thursday at Central Bank Thursday Night Live, sponsored by G&J Pepsi and brought to you by the Downtown Lexington Corporation. The band Mercy Men will perform at 5:30. And Friday at the Fifth Third Bank Pavilion from 5:30 until 8:30 is Festivals, sponsored by the Brewgrass Trail and brought to you by the Downtown Lexington Corporation.
Gentlemen, this is the real thing.
Yeah, we're coming on the left.
This is what you've been trained for.
3 MiGs dead ahead, coming down the left side.
You are America's best.
1 MiG 12 o'clock high, 1 MiG 12 o'clock high.
Make us proud.
I got radar lock, you clear to fire. I got a good lock, fire. I'm firing.
Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis, Top Gun.
Also this Friday, the Downtown Lexington Corporation is showing the movie Top Gun in Triangle Park at Fountain Films on Friday. Sponsored by Paul Miller Mazda, starting at 9 p.m. And on Sunday at the Henry Clay Estate is Ashland's annual Jazz on the Lawn, starting at 5:30. For more information, visit henryclay.org.
For everything that's going on in downtown Lexington, visit downtownlex.com or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
For more information about these activities and others, you can visit the Downtown Lexington Corporation website. It's downtownlex.com. And if you've spent any time in downtown, you know that there are bikes everywhere. But what you may not know is that there are some rules pertaining to bikes and riding them that apply downtown that don't apply elsewhere. Lexington Police Officer Howard Florence explains.
When riding bicycles downtown Lexington, or anywhere for that matter, there are special traffic considerations cyclists must adhere to.
My name is Howard Florence. I'm a police officer downtown in Lexington. I've been with the department for 22 years. When you're on a bike downtown, we do encourage that you use the streets. The bicycle lanes are well marked, the streets are well paved. There's some hazards associated with that, as would be anywhere you're on the street. Watch for parked cars pulling out, watch for people exiting their cars, watch for the doors opening up, kind of a thing. Watch for pedestrians, they may step out between cars in your path. Make sure you signal your intentions to the motorist if you're changing lanes or making turns. And one of the most important things is to make sure that you stop for the red lights. Especially downtown, the cars are going to trip the lights. You're not going to have to wait very long. It's a safety issue, and it is the state law that as a cyclist on the road, you're bound by the same laws that govern vehicles. So stopping for the red lights is highly encouraged. When you're riding in the street downtown, always make sure that you're going with traffic. You don't want to ride against traffic. Stay to the right as much as you can. If you find yourself riding on the sidewalk, obviously that creates a whole nother set of hazards for you and for pedestrians. Pedestrians always have the right of way. So if you find yourself on the sidewalk, some things to look out for: don't get too close to the buildings. People could be stepping out or opening a door on you. And just the simple fact that pedestrians move so much slower than anybody that would be on a bicycle, you're always going to catch up to them. So if you're catching up to a pedestrian walking, their backs to you, they're not going to know you're there. So if you have a bell on your bike, you might want to just give that a little friendly ring, or just give a kind greeting just so that they know that you're there. And then make sure you still give them enough space, because when they react to you, it still may startle them, and you may not know how they're going to react. They may step into your path. So I just want to emphasize, pedestrians, they always have the right of way. And also watch for cars that are maybe pulling in and out of the parking garages. They're not really expecting a bicycle to be coming down, maybe, because like I said, you're going to be moving a lot faster than a pedestrian would be. So just make sure you're watch out for that. BikeLexington.com is a very good resource. It has links to the state laws for bicycling as well as the city ordinances.
For more information about the rules of the road and bike safety, you can visit the police page. It's on the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. And coming up after the break, if you like beer, it's time to work up a thirst. We'll explain.
Hello, I'm Detective Mark Thomas with the Lexington Police Department. You may also know me from Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about a new texting system that we have available through any smartphone. In the body of your message, you can text LexPD plus your tip to crimes. When you're submitting anonymous information, we ask that you include several things that would help us conduct the investigations more thoroughly, such as a person's name, their home address, possible license plate numbers, any other people involved, or why you think that they're conducting the type of activity that you believe that they are. All of those things, no matter how small you believe they could be, are relevant to the investigation. So please include those. So remember, you can send your anonymous tip information either through text, you can call the Bluegrass Crime Stoppers anonymous tip line at 859-253-2020, or you can go online to bluegrasscrimestoppers.com. Thank you.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Fire Administration. Have two ways out. When fire strikes, deadly smoke can fill your home within minutes. That's why the USFA wants you to plan and practice home fire drills. Draw a map of each level of your home showing all doors and windows. Discuss the map with everyone who lives with you. Practice your home fire drill at least twice a year. Make sure all doors and windows that lead outside open easily. Push the smoke alarm button to start the drill. Try feeling your way in the dark or with your eyes closed. Have at least two ways out of every room. If your first way out is blocked by fire or smoke, you can use your second way out. If there is smoke, get low and go. Crawl quickly under the smoke to your nearest exit. Close doors behind you and gather at a pre-planned outside meeting place where first responders can see you. Call 911. Remember, get out and stay out. Never go back inside for people, pets, or things. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Welcome back to the show. Craft beer drinkers, it is time to work up a thirst. That's because Lexington's Festivals is coming up. The 8th annual event will be held at the Fifth Third Pavilion this Labor Day weekend.
Hi, I'm Laura Farnsworth, and I'm with the Downtown Lexington Corporation.
And I'm Chris Vandergrift. I work with LexBeerScene.com.
And we're here today to talk about the Lexington Festivals, presented by the Bluegrass Trail. This is the 8th year for the Festivals. It's kind of a can't-miss event for Lexington.
The first one was here in 2009. I had run a festival at the Red Mile for a little while, and we wanted to move it downtown. So I got in touch with the DLC and Laura, and we started a new one right here in the pavilion. It's Lexington's oldest craft beer festival, and because we've been doing it for so long, we get some of the more rare beers and some of the things that people try to seek out. It's also a good place to come and learn about craft beer because we have so many styles and so many different things that we can feature. It's also a great place to come and meet the brewers because anybody from about 100 miles away sends either a representative or a brewer down.
Well, we definitely have a lot of repeat guests year to year. I know so many people that have been to every one. So we hope that people, when they leave at the end of that night, they mark their calendars for the next year. It's always the Friday before Labor Day weekend, and we just want everybody to, learn more about beer, learn more about downtown, and make plans to come back.
I hope they leave with more knowledge about craft beer and more knowledge about the breweries that we have here in Kentucky. Almost half of the entire breweries that we're going to have are from Kentucky. So hopefully they leave knowing a little bit more about the culture and the craft that we have.
I hope they leave with a good sense of downtown, what downtown Lexington has to offer, that it's clean, safe, fun. We do just dozens of events downtown every year, Lexington Festivals being one of the more fun events, but there's something almost every weekend. The good thing about the Lexington Festivals, though, is that it's not just for beer lovers. We also have a full bar, live music, food vendors, so if all of your friends are big craft beer drinkers and maybe you are not so much, come on down. There's definitely something for everybody. Outside of, growing larger every year, it's grown a lot more prime, you might say. The first year we had lots of different beer, and that was great. Chris, who selects the beer every year, definitely gets more particular, and like we said, we get better quality beer, more rare items. So I think it's definitely gotten more select, and for the craft beer drinker, that's definitely what it's about. I know every year we get beers that you may not even see in this area at all, and so it's a hot ticket.
We're pushing out the imports. I think this year we only have maybe 2 imported beers because it's becoming more localized. We're just getting so many new breweries popping up around here that we're having to push out the ones that aren't local just because space and availability.
One new thing this year, we do have a presenting sponsor. It's the Brewgrass Trail. It's a kind of just a trail of the different breweries in Lexington and Central Kentucky. And so they'll be out here with some more information about what they have to offer, which will give people from Lexington and guests in town for the event, an opportunity to learn where these breweries are. It's one thing to meet the brewers here and taste the product, but there's a whole other experience in the actual brewery, and we're really excited about getting that information into the hands of our guests. For more information, including where you can get your tickets, visit LexingtonFestivals.com. Remember, this is a pre-sale event, and this event always sells out.
Tickets for the Festivals and more information about the event are available at the organizer's website. It's www.LexingtonFestivals.com. Lexington Police are always looking for new qualified candidates to join their ranks. We caught up with some of the most recent recruits to hear about why they chose the Lexington Police Department.
I was here maybe 3 summers ago, met a Lexington police officer. He just said, hey, are you out of school? And I told him, yeah, I just graduated. And he said, you should apply for Lexington Police, one of the best police departments in the nation. That's what he told me. At first I was like, it's Kentucky, I'm not sure I would like it, but I got to Lexington, I loved it. I applied to another agency, they told me I was too young, and Lexington told me, hey, you're perfect age, we'd love to have you.
With Lexington, they really stress family and making sure that that's your main priority and that it's not work. There's a lot of other departments and different places I looked at, it was, police should be your main job, and I wanted somewhere that put family first, and that's pretty much what Lexington said from the get-go.
My husband's from here. We met in the military, so financially it made more sense for me to come here than for him to come to Pittsburgh. I was not thrilled about it at first. Pittsburgh's, it's not a huge city, but it's a little bit bigger, and my entire family's still there, so that was difficult, but it's definitely grown on me in the last, 8 years, and I think it's a great place to raise kids. I've never been on a farm, never kind of been in the country really in my entire life, and now, we live on a farm. Look out my back window and see cows, and I go for a run, and our neighbors have horses, and it's pretty cool.
I tell people, friends, family, that Lexington is a great city. It actually has a low crime rate now. Lexington is a safe city, great city to raise a family, low taxes, low crime, low cost of living. Whenever I tell family and friends about Lexington, about Kentucky, it's always good things. I don't have anything bad to say about this area at all.
It's absolutely different where I grew up. The people, I believe the people are nicer. I like the pace of it. It's not too fast for me, or it's not too slow. For me, it's perfect. Of course, compared to California, it's not as diverse. But throughout my time here so far, I've met a lot of different people from different backgrounds, and I grew to love it over time.
When I got here to Lexington, everyone was friendly. That reminded me of being home. I get out with someone, and a lot of times they're like, "Hey, thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do." I love Lexington. I wouldn't want to be anyplace else.
It's going to be another busy week here in the urban county government, including the City Council's Budget, Finance, and Economic Development Committee meeting, Council work session, and Council meeting. You can watch these meetings live on GTV3 or streaming on our website, or you can watch any archived meeting. You can also find a complete calendar of meetings and events at lexingtonky.gov. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Lexington Now. We'll return next week with more news from your urban county government. But in the meantime, you can keep up with what we're doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also get 24/7 traffic updates by following us on Twitter. Our handle for traffic is @LexRex. And if you're a person who likes to see exactly what's going on, you can now see traffic on the city's live webcams. They are on the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. Well, that is all for this week's edition of Lexington Now. I am Sherelle Roberts, and for the staff and producers here at GTV3, have a wonderful week.
The preceding program was produced through the facilities of GTV3.